Hi. So it's the morning after I saw my date. I did sleep over. I did have sex. Was it good? I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit mixed about it. And it just has me thinking a lot about what I want, because in my last video I spoke about expectations and dating and how it constantly hurts to feel like I'm not finding the person that I'm seeking, that I'm wanting, that I feel like I deserve. A smart, intelligent, caring, engaged person who likes to have sex and is successful in their own personal definition of what they want. And if they're financially successful, that's also nice. Yeah, I mean, last night was just from a sex level, I think it was good. You know, we had sex for 2 or 3 hours, which is a long time. And he is really large, so it's really hard to fit him all the way in, and he likes to go deep. So it hurts. But I think the gradual pressing and the pushing, eventually, you know, I can adjust and get used to this. But there was a lot of screaming and there was a lot of pain. But it was like consensual, you know, and it was kind of hot, to be honest, like having my hands held behind my back as he rails me. God, this is so TMI. As he rails me, it was hot. Like, it's very dominant, and that's nice. And he seems to be kind of sweet and caring when I ask for his kind of like, you know, was that good? Did you have a good time? I feel a little insecure because he hadn't came, and he reassured me and stuff like that. But yeah, I just kind of woke up this morning, observed his behavior. He doesn't really kiss, and he didn't really like want to cuddle at all. It was kind of just more like just very kind of like, okay, cool. Like, let me walk you to the door. Let me just make sure you're okay. And I think there's this culture thing, because he's from Syria. He's Syrian. And so there's definitely maybe a culture thing here. But it just kind of had me recircling back on this idea of what my expectations are, and feeling the same pain that I was feeling this past week in London. And I remind myself of that last video, and also what we talked. It's your expectations, Ashley. Like, just see this as friends and maybe some good sex, and that's it. And as I walked away, I felt myself being a little overwhelmed, because I'm thinking about that. I'm also thinking about my money, my income streams. How am I going to go make money? And I've kind of like realized I'm in this situation of, do I put more energy into pursuing a boyfriend, or do I put more energy into pursuing money? Now, one of these is more reliably going to support me and take care of me, and I think that's money. Yeah, that's money, girl. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to not really pursue removing myself from the single pool and finding a boyfriend, and really just focus on making more money. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I can support myself and I can take care of myself, then I don't need a specific kind of boyfriend. I can find a boyfriend that fits my needs, because I'll have more wealth and time to kind of find and pursue that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts about money and versus like a relationship? If you're not in a relationship, which one are you pursuing more? Your career, your transness, perhaps, or or you know, having a partner? I think earlier in my career, like 3 years ago, I was pursuing transitioning and just saying, okay, like, I just really want to be a woman and figure this out. And I do want to date, and I would love to find a boyfriend, but if I don't, that's okay, because I'm still learning about who I am. But I've gotten to this point where I know who I am and what I want, and I'm not finding it, and it's just not coming. So where should I focus my attention? Should I focus my attention more on frustrations? This is important. This is a great concept to apply in your life. Focusing on your locus of control. So when you feel anxious, you feel afraid, or you feel like frustrated that you're about something, whether that's politics, your transition, someone who's treating you, or you not being able to find something, focus on what you can control. Because when you pull it back onto what you can control, you can then feel like you have a sense of progress towards something, and you won't feel flustered or blocked. So for me, I don't have control over finding my boyfriend, but I do have control over making money and pursuing more money in my career. So that's kind of like a locus of control, kind of like short. But in this context, what it really means is I have to let go of the fact that I'm afraid that I'm going to get older as a trans woman, that I'm not going to be dateable, that I'm not going to find my partner. All of those fear thinkings and the negative self-talk that I don't feel valid enough, I need to let that go, because I exist in a world that is capitalist. I exist in a world that requires money, and being trans is expensive, right? Wouldn't you agree? That I just need to double down on all of the pursuits that I have on the side and what I can do to make more money. Now, that doesn't mean that I lose my morals and that I start making money off of being an oil tycoon or something like that. I need to stick within my principles and what I do, and hopefully I can continue to build Ashley Adamson as something of a business, and I have other avenues through which I'm trying to grow as well. So, I think it's important to talk about these kinds of things, because especially in the trans community, I think there's a fear about talking about money. And oftentimes the pursuit or the solution is, I don't have enough money, and therefore I will never make enough money for my surgeries or anything. So therefore I need to find health insurance that covers it, or I need to raise it through my Kickstarter or GoFundMe campaign. And I disagree with that. I think that we can all figure out how to make more money if we put in the time and know where to put that time in. And the internet is a really great place to start. It's a really great place to find customers. It's a really great place to educate yourself and learn about the ways in which you can make money. And to kind of like dial the conversation more abstractly, it's just like learning how to commit to something and apply yourself as much as you can. I am a self-taught everything. I'm a self-taught speaker. I am a self-taught designer. I am a self-taught entrepreneur. I'm a self-taught musician. I never had any of these things given to me or taught to me. I never went to a school for any of these things. I left school with a shit ton of loan debt, and I was able to figure out how to get myself out of it through starting my own business, and then eventually moving on to having a career in tech, which, by the way, I had no education in. I taught myself. I literally would wake up every day and drink tea. I wasn't making any money. I was just hustling on the side, and I was just learning, going online, seeing what I could do, and every single day that was just what I would do. I'd spend 12 hours designing and teaching myself how to do it. And I think any of us can do this. It's just a willingness and a discipline to want it enough. So, when you're looking at your world and what you want out of this world, are you willing to pursue it, and are you willing to do you want it enough to really go after it? Now, for me, I've just stated I really want money and I really want to get it. Now, I have a job and I have some side businesses or side hustles. And the first thing that comes to mind is okay, now we have to go really hard right now. But I just came back from vacation, and this is another thing that I think you might want to think about, is just how you treat yourself when you want and pursue these things, because you don't want to create more stress. So I say to myself, okay, well, I want to go get this, but I'm not going to push myself super, super hard right now just because I really want this right now. I need to take care of myself, I need to pace myself, and I need to allow myself the space and the breathing room to grow into it. So like, ask yourself this question, when you feel like you need to do something or you should do something, do you really need to do it? Is it something that helps you move forward in life? And if it is, how does that make you feel that you're not doing it? Do you feel frustrated or do you feel motivated? If you don't feel motivated by it, ask yourself other questions like, am I in a state where I need to take care of myself? Do I need to focus on self-care? What is it that my body and my mind need so that I have the space to eventually go out and get what I want? Because who wants to be stuck at home and unable to live any part of their dream and just kind of be stuck in this kind of victim world of being on the receiving end of everything, right? I don't think you want that. I think you'd like to have some part of your life where you feel like you're growing and expanding and living out a part of your dream. Because that's what life is about. Life is about dreaming, ironically, and being able to see what kind of comes out of it, the mystery of it all, right? Thank you for joining me today. This was just a really random video. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping me put this together. And thank you to Lauren and Lilith for supporting me in doing this. You know who you are. And I'll see you in another episode. Bye.